We have a new interim head coach and a new interim GM over in beautiful Las Vegas. Now, Josh McDaniels and Dolph Ziegler, get fired overnight by Mark Davis, who allegedly had lost trust in the pairing being the right ones for the future of the Raiders quickly. We don't know what the exact turning point was for Mark Davis. We don't know if it was when Darren Waller said, get me the hell out of here shortly after signing a new deal. We don't know if it was after they signed a new deal to Derek Carr with a no trade clause and then them forcing him out of the building. We don't know if it was benching Hunter Renfrow after signing him to an extension. We don't know exactly what moment it was that Mark Davis said these two are not going to be able to figure it out, but it came on Tuesday. Now, new OC or new offensive, new head coach and new GM speaking for the first time. And let me tell you, I knew of Antonio Pierce as a football player. I didn't know him as a human.
Oh, yeah. No.
Chuck, what if this guy's the guy? What if this guy is the guy?
Oh, yeah.
He's getting an incredible opportunity. He will admit that. But the way he handled this graciously, but also letting everybody know, hey, this ain't going to be old come run over the Raiders now because we got an interim head coach. Here's Super Bowl champion, New York Giants legend, now interim head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, Antonio Pierce addressing the team alongside Champ Kelly, the new interim general manager for the Raiders in the middle of a season.
A teammate, a co-worker, somebody that you're close with. We take that very seriously. There's lives and families that's affected by this, and we understand that. But it's a new day. It's a new chapter. It's a new era. It's a new mindset. What is that mindset? It's that of the Raider pride, the commitment to excellence, and making sure our alumni, our fan base, and Raider Nation are proud of what they see on the field. What does that look like? Tough.
Wide.
Passionate.
Wide.
Effort.
Wide.
Energy.
Wide.
That enthusiasm that you see when we all watched our kids and these young men who are now pro athletes play when they're in Pop Warner. Having that love for the game. We're on the same page. Champ and myself, our staff is connected. We had a great team meeting this morning. Everybody was steely-eyed and focused. We walked in with a smile on our face. The synergy, the energy in this building, and the personality of our players will reflect on who we are as Raiders. This is a great opportunity for myself. I'm humbled, I'm honored, and I don't take it lightly. I'm sure there'll be questions about why, how. Those will all get answered. But this is about the players, this is about the Raiders, and this is about this organization. And we're tired of losing. It's not a good feeling. We're a production-based business. We're about competition, being competitive, and play with an edge and a swag and a certain confidence that we walk out that damn tunnel that everybody watching TV can see it, and a product on the field is something we're.
So what he's talking about is what we all used to think of the Raiders. The Raiders used to have a brand. The Raiders used to have an image. Obviously, in L.A., that image runs deep. He is from Compton. He said that also in this entire thing. He grew up watching the Raiders and knows a lot of Raiders fans, was a Raiders fan. What the Raiders way was and what they were feared as is something that is obviously not here anymore. Then Marshawn Lynch cut a promo. He's from Oakland. He's from the town. He cut a promo standing at a press conference. He's a Seahawks legend, but everybody knows that whenever he played for the Raiders, it was because he was representing the city in which the Raiders were in their last season they were there, always had a deep connection with the Raiders, and they put out something to say, hey, we're doing this the Raider way. It's like, I love the fact that Mark Davis, in the middle of the season, saw what Josh McDaniels and Dolph Ziegler were doing, and we're like, it's the Patriot way, right? That's what everybody says, the Patriot way, the Patriot way, Patriot way. Mark Davis like, this isn't a lot of fun. This isn't a lot of coming in. Nobody's happy in this building. Darren Waller said he wanted to get out of Davis' wedding. I was at his wedding. He said, I'm the owner of the his wife is literally on my team that we just won 2 world champions, and then he doesn't want to be there. Hunter Renfrow, I love him. We gave him a lot of money, and we don't even play him. And this is not. I want to do things the Raider way. Yeah, and I don't know when it was. He probably had sunglasses on, and his haircut was looking fresher than ever. But then he decides to move on. He goes, "Listen, Antonio, you're the guy for the job. We need our team to be back to who the Raiders are." I think you coached at the Raiders. I'm not 100% sure. But that Raiders thing was a real thing everywhere. We grew up in Pittsburgh. We knew what the Raiders were. He grew up in Iowa. He knew what the Raiders were. They were going to be fast. They were going to draft a guy that ran a 4.2
for sure,
and everything like that. But they were also going to be dogs. That's the way the Raiders were kind of viewed and always have been. It feels like they know they've lost their way. Now they're trying to get back to that. That's good for the NFL. And also, I think it's good for 2023 football, the style in which we're playing now.
No, absolutely. It gives those, everybody in Raider Nation hope, that he recognized what the hell was going on and said, okay, enough's enough. And how good was that
It was awesome.
Unreal.
First speech.
I mean, that's not scripted. That's not read. That's not somebody with a little piece of paper, right? That's right from the frickin' heart. So authentic, so real.
Oh, yeah.
I worked with Champ in Chicago. He's a stud. He knows talent. He's a great evaluator. He's a better human. These are two really good humans that understand. I was there in 05, 06 in Oakland. Mr. Davis was still living, and what a privilege that was to work for him and get to see that firsthand. And it's about one thing and one thing only there, and that's winning. That's it. And there is nothing else. I mean, there's no, if you had hobbies, you got this, you got that, like you don't work for Mr. Davis. You don't work for his son, Mark. Like John Madden, you remember he talked about John don't like golf. John just loves football.
Well, and John also had to retire when he was 35 because he was about sick of it. You know, they ran him into the dirt. But he did win, and he was incredible on TV. That
was that. But how good's that? And they'll be energized. I mean,
that speech from Marshawn Lynch too that they put out on social almost immediately. It's like they recognize what the problem was, and what do we need to do? We need to let people know that we are not who we have been over the last couple of years. We are who we've always been, which is the Raiders. It's on the Raiders social media. You can go watch it. He's standing at a press conference, and I don't know how quickly that thing came together, but it was basically like, hey, we're the Raiders.
Yeah.
Like, we need to remember that. What if the Raiders become good? The only issue is the Chiefs is the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So you can go be the Raiders and do the Raider way, and I understand division rivals is different. And I know the Raiders, I think Gruden took the tractor another round around the Arrowhead after beating the Chiefs. I think so, and like doing a victory lap pretty much. And Andy Reid heard about that and was like, I didn't have a burger 3 days because of that. Like, he was not happy. He was actually pissed off about it. So I understand that's going to happen. But when you're in the Chiefs division, that can also expedite some of these decisions that are being made by owners because they're seeing everything that they want 2 times a year, right thrusted in their face. And it's like that's kind of the ripple effect of the Patrick Mahomes, Andy Reid era, especially in the AFC West.